Welcome back, gents. This is going to be my 2500 round-ish update for my Shaw Mark 7 here. Formerly ER Shaw, but now Shaw Custom, I do believe. They're going through a rebranding the last couple of years. This is basically, and you can tell from the action and what have you, this is a Savage 110, but with all the bells and whistles. They pillar bed it, they glass bed it, and also there is no barrel nut system. It's just torqued in there like an old school design. I feel like I'm forgetting something. 26-inch stainless steel barrel. I guess that's it. Let's get to firing. Oh, the rounds. We're actually doing something which I hate. The Scott Satterley load workup. This quick little ladder test. And I'm going from, using reloader 17, we're going from 44.2 all the way to 46 grains. Do not use this load. Just straight up don't use this load, but especially don't use this load in a model 1893 Mauser, the small ring version, because you'll probably blow your face off. That's really the only way to word it. And we're using the 162 grain Hornady Match, the ELDM bullet. And this is actually, even though this is going to say 8mm Mauser, this is actually 7x57. I have used a body die to reform this 8mm Lapua brass down to 7mm. So let's see how we do. Oh, and I am going to be firing at paper as well. I'm using the magneto speed. The biggest thing I notice is that there is a shift to the point to impact when you have that attached, but it doesn't really seem to affect accuracy or precision much. I will say that there are some times where I notice an increased occurrence of flyers, but maybe that's me. Let's take a look at these numbers. So, average, like I said, those are spicy. 27.27, high 27.26, 28.26 when say, lowest 26.90. Standard deviation doesn't matter because this is a load workup. So shot 10, I guess we're working backwards. 28.17, 20.26, ain't too bad. We'll have to put these in a spreadsheet. However, $26.90. So let's go back. Let's look at 4, 5, and 6. I guess 6 is 27.73. 5 is 27.74, and 4 is 27.55, so that's like a 20-foot spread. That ain't bad, but let's take a look at the target, because I also recorded approximately where they hit on paper. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so remember, this is 2 grains difference. Each one of these shots is a different charge of powder, but I approximately wrote down where they hit as looking through the scope. So this is 1, 2, 3, and then we have, give me 1 second, 4, 5, 6, overlapping, 7, 8, 9, so that's a huge shift to the point to impact, and then 10 goes back down here because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots there. So judging a little bit from the speeds, although we'll have to take a more objective look when we put them into a spreadsheet, looks like that 4, 5, 6, 7 range, so the middle charge is going to be about where we want to go. And if we keep the same seating depth, that looks approximately about a half-inch group. We have to test that to make sure that is true. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be another range trip, but 10 shots, I could do that very easy tomorrow. I hope that's true, because that'd be great for a barrel that has 2,500 rounds. Also, again, remember, these 2750 162 grain bullet, you know, that's for 7mm Mauser, that's cooking. That's really fast. So again, modern action only, and in fact, I would not recommend that you try to repeat this at all, even in a modern action. Just play safe, okay? That's my disclaimer. Okay, 5 shots of the 44.9. Let's check the average. 27.79. It seems... I can't remember if that's higher or lower than before. I want to say it's higher. Should have checked this stuff. Hey. SD was 6. Extreme spread 18. I'll believe the extreme spread. Down on paper, it did not print the best. We're talking about an 1.5-inch group, roughly. So I'm going to let the barrel cool down, fire off the next 5 shots, and then we'll go down and check them. So, extreme spread 18. That's, I'm not complaining with that. I'm not complaining with that at all. So, even if the other one doesn't do as well, I think we just need to do some seating depth tests. Let's check out the numbers for 45.1. Almost looks like it's freaking out, doesn't it? Anyway, so average 2804, high 2814, low 2780. So definitely the extreme spread is worse, along with the SD. Okay, quick video for a quick range trip where we're finishing up our 10-shot load development. We're doing some seating depth tests here, and we're going in increments of 10,000ths. This is our original, so this is 44.9 grains of reloader 17, propelling a 162 grain Hornady ELDM bullet. Wow, that's a mouthful. This is what we have, and I realize I'm driving people up the wall by doing 2-shot groups here, but I'm trying to be very economical here, and furthermore, using some old school wisdom in that our groups will never get smaller than the first 2 shots you fire. There is some truth to that. So that said, original load right here. We can see a little bit of horizontalness, decent vertical. We go over here, vertical's about the same. The group did tighten up. We take that with a grain of salt though. More on that later. As we get shorter, so again, this is 20 thousandths shorter from the original load, we can see more verticality, but the group is also opening up. So this is a little over 1 inch, or about 1 inch. So that's acceptable for a hunting rifle. Going up here, wow, I thought I had pulled this shot because it is so out of normal with what we've been seeing with the trend later. However, look at this one over here. It got even worse. That's over a 2-inch group. So I didn't pull the shot. That's just the pattern that is evolving. As we're getting shorter, we are just gaining more verticality. So I'm not sure if the horizontalness is turning to a verticality, and maybe eventually we might reach something that is tight. However, this here, by the way, I took a picture with Range Buddy. It's 0.68 MOA, I think it is, or 0.68 inches. I'll put it up in editing, you'll see. And I find that with this rifle, what I can reliably tune it to, the level of precision I can reliably obtain is about a 1/2 inch. Now, I am not saying, like, we found our load here. I'm not saying, oh, yep, 44.9 grains at 0.3 or 3.55, that's our load. No, God, no. What we can pull from this is that, judging from these 3 groups here, this is pretty much the performance that we can eke out of it. I'm not going to say it's a 1/2 inch. I'm going to say, it's someplace under 1 inch, I hope. I wouldn't really know unless we did further testing, but one thing's for sure, I definitely wouldn't do more testing in this area. And honestly, I don't think it's worth it to try to go further than mag length. Because who knows, maybe I'll find something a little bit better, but I just don't think it's worth it. I would rather try another powder or even another primer. Ultimately, I just don't think that this powder with this bullet are really where we need to be. Then again, though, one last quick note. I only tested over 2 grains, and it's a really spicy load. It's maybe too much than where we should be at. My primers are slightly flattened, so also maybe I need to just drop the charge. We definitely have room for that. But at this point, I'm muddling it, really, right? So, long story short, this 10-shot load development, it's not a 10-shot load development. I highly dislike it. However, look where we managed to ballpark it, and I think ultimately we did just spend 30 bullets, or 30 rounds worth of components, rather, I should say. And that's not bad, actually. That's not bad. Not precision, but not bad. Okay, hold up. I'm angry. I'm mad right now. Okay, so I'm out here with my Shaw Mark 7, and these should look familiar. These are my reformed Lapua brass. So this is why I've been doing that 10-shot Scott Satterley load workup. And this is just me, you know, I just for funsies, I tried a different reloading die. I realized I had the last of the bullets. I was like, you know what, sure, let's just do it. So these are using the original load, 44.9. That's what gave us excellent SDs and ESs from that small sample size. This, I went ahead and I dropped the charge to something a little bit more reasonable, something that didn't make the primers scream out, "Sweet baby Jesus, help me God." Up there, I found what was the very last of my PPU brass, the Parvy Partisan. Come on, focus. And I just threw charges. Like, I literally dropped the last of my Reloader 17. It was in my Redding BR30. And it, like, I threw a couple charges, and I was like, oh, okay, so it throws about 22 grains. So I'd throw them twice and put them in the case. So there's approximately 44 grains, which is pretty close to like the actual max load, by the way, a Reloader 17 in these cases. I just fired 3 shots of the PPU, and you can see I was going to do a 5-shot string, but the barrel's really hot. But we're going to go out and look at the targets, and you'll see why I am so angry. In editing, I'll have to fast forward, but I wanted to do this all in one cut, so you guys know I'm not BSing you. Here we go. So again, this is 44.9 with a different sizing die. I'm not surprised, but these, I mean, those are 2-inch groups, not happy, whatever. Look at this. 2 overlapping, 1 just barely not touching. That's a little over 1/2-inch group. And I guess that's how we're going to end the video of our 2,500 round update. Not with this meticulous load workup where we were just kind of messing around with this load development that I absolutely hate, but a completely accidental charge that apparently works out awesome. This will be bonus footage, and I'm also going to have to do a voiceover because the wind was far too powerful. So this is with Norma Brass, which has been neck turned, and Staball 6.5. The first several groups are nothing to write home about, but that 4th group, we finally managed to eke out about 3/4 of an inch, roughly. The final load charge we had a lot of overlapping shots, but then we had an outlier. These final 3 groups, though, they're 3 different bullet weights. The first group, 175 grain full metal jacket. That second group, which again is about 3/4 of an inch, that is 162 grain Hornady ELD-M. And the last group was me doing more of a heat test with just some factory second 150 grain ELD-X's. You can see where I indicate where the barrel is wanting the group, and now the group is spreading out. I'm predicting that it is because of barrel heat, and also perhaps because my barrel is falling out of tune due to throat erosion. This was a known good load. With that said, I'll end this video by showing the current condition of the bore. It's actually not that bad. You can see where the cracks are starting to form. Some people call this alligator skin, the texture of it. And this is how a stainless steel barrel starts to look when they experience the wear and tear from heat and friction. This barrel is still capable of good accuracy. However, I'm finding it hard to tune down to the 1/2-inch accuracy I used to readily get. I think that's pretty apparent in this video. So what's next? I'm probably going to get this rifle rebarreled at Shaw, although this time I'll probably go with a heavier contour. That's more of a long-term goal after another year and probably another 1,000 rounds.